Welcome into Garnet and Gold Grub, presented by TECO People's Gas. I'm Catherine Phillips, alongside Chef Travis Johnson, Executive Director of Seminole Dining here at Florida State. He's going to walk us through a game day meal using natural gas. Chef, what do you have for us today?
Well, today we're going to do a Southern classic, a Southern sweet potato hash. And when we like to cook, we like to think of local items. So we have some local sweet potatoes, some Southern andouille sausage, a little bit of our onions, our peppers, and our celery, which we call Trinity. And together they're going to bring a lot of different flavors cooking in cast iron today on our gas stove.
Okay, so we have all this prepared. What's first?
All right, well, let's get started. So first we want to turn up our flame and allow our cast iron to get nice and hot. And the first thing we're going to add is our andouille.
Now, can you tell us exactly what andouille is?
So an andouille is like a Southern style smoked sausage that has a lot of different Cajun spices in it. As you notice in front of us here, we don't have a lot of seasoning. What we call seasoning is our onions, our peppers, and our celery. And then we're getting all of our salts and our flavors from our andouille, and we're getting our sweetness from our sweet potatoes and some of the sugars as we caramelize our onions and our peppers and our celery. So it's really bringing all those natural flavors together to create this wonderful dish that you can serve as a side, you can serve it as an entree. It's great for tailgate.
And now you can see the flame here. What's the benefit of that?
Having a controlled flame allows you to control the heat a little bit more. We like using them because you get instant heat. You can control the highs and the lows. As you can tell, we're getting a really good sizzle on our sausage right now. All right, so now that this is starting to brown, we're gonna go ahead and add our onions. And a lot of the style cooking we work with is all done in one pot. And it's not because we don't want to do the dishes. It's because what we're doing is we're building a lot of the flavors. Now we're going to go and add our green peppers. You can see how the onions are starting to get a little more translucent. You want to lightly cook your green peppers. And then it brings us to our next ingredient, our celery. And again, we're just continuing to build the flavor. I haven't added any oil or any salts to this dish.
You can smell the flavor coming off of it.
We're starting to bring all those flavors together. You can get with the aromatics. Next, we're going to add our garlic. So we just took some fresh ground garlic. And it's important to add the garlic a little bit later because we want to make sure that we're cooking it, but we're not burning the garlic. And I've just got a little bit of unsalted butter. And when we're cooking, we always cook with unsalted butter because we like to control the amount of salt that goes into a dish. And by having the unsalted butter, it allows us to have the fats and the flavor without it becoming too salty or adding too much sodium to the dish. So as this continues to cook, we are gonna add just a little bit of our Cajun seasoning. And our Cajun seasoning today is a light blend that we put together that has some cumin, some granulated onion, some granulated garlic, paprika, red pepper, chili powder, and black pepper.
You got a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. And again, as you notice, in that seasoning, there's no salt. Look at that, it's got some really great color to it.
That looks amazing.
We're just about there. The next piece we want to add is our sweet potatoes. Again, locally grown. We have cut these and we blanched them. So we boiled some water, dropped them in for about 5 or 6 minutes, and then we shocked them and put them back in the cooler so they cool back down. And now they're at the perfect consistency, which we call al dente, which if you were to take one and bite it, has a little bit of a crunch to it.
Okay.
But
and that's al dente.
Al dente. And we want to cook it that way because it's going to go into this dish and we don't want the sweet potatoes to break down.
Gotcha.
And once we add the sweet potatoes, now we really just want to fold it in. So we're going to let this cook. So we're about 30 seconds to a minute away from having a great Southern style sweet potato hash.
Okay, so when do you like to serve this meal? Do you do breakfast? Anywhere?
I would eat this for breakfast. I'd eat it for lunch. I typically make it for the family for holidays.
Okay.
It's just, again, a great dish. And if you want to make it vegetarian and pull the sausage out, then you may want to add just a little bit of salt at the end just to bring out some of the flavors you'd naturally get with the sausage. We're just about ready, so let's go ahead and serve up a dish. You can see all the beautiful color from the caramelization and the sweet potatoes. And we're going to finish this with just a few fresh green onions. And we're ready to go. Would you like to try?
I'll go for it.
All right.
Oh my gosh. That's so good.
It's good.
That's amazing. All right, well, for full details on this recipe and more information on how you can incorporate natural gas at home, at your business, or at your next tailgate event, go to peoplesgas.com/cooking.